Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January, moving into early February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Virgo again? In late January, moving into early February, Aquarius season at the time of this filming. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in late January, early February. What is the vibe for my good friends? Let's see. Yeah, nice and quick. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So we have the Little Mermaid, and I do like this. And as you can see, that's obviously not branded Little Mermaid, but she looks just like her, Ariel right there. And it just reminds me of the movie, and it does have like similar connotations as well. It's beautiful, it's imaginative, it's like eyes to the horizon, so it's really nice. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards then, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So I'm sure many, if not all of you, have seen the Little Mermaid movie a time or two or 20, right? So it's a beautiful card. We see this Little Mermaid underneath the water. Her head seems to be slightly above in the clouds. She's surrounded by all this beauty. So when I do see this card, I do think of contentment, but I also feel like the big theme is like wanting more. So for a lot of Virgos, you might be in an okay place, or you might be in a somewhat comfortable place, but it's like, there's something more I need. Or so hopefully it's not feeling like you're missing something. I don't like to give a negative to this card because I do feel like it's very positive. So a lot of you could have a big future focus where there's a yearning for something when this card is here, just like the movie. Now, a big thing I always say with this card, aside from those archetypes, she has her head in the clouds, so it could be very daydreamy, thinking. There could be a lot of stuff on your mind. Sometimes it could be a little fantasizing going on here, which isn't bad. That could be great to get the creative juices flowing. So just know, like, you might be able to think outside the box when this card is here. So I think it's a good start. Even if we do have some challenges within the reading itself, Little Mermaid's nice because it's energy that can flow. So let's put her down there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Virgos, please. What's happening? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There was a big magnetism coming off the Virgo collective last week, and that's something that can continue to go, like moving into the next few weeks. The reading was titled Here They Come. And to me, it's like, all right, I'm attracting situations, I'm pulling people in. So whether it's like old people, new people, it just felt like pulling lots of things towards you. So just know in the short-term future, there could be a lot of people and things popping up, even ones you don't quite expect. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it is for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards from my Virgo friends. What is happening? What is going on here? And the funny thing about it is, like, that was your energy last week, but the Capricorns got it this week. Almost identical type of reading, which is so bizarre. So we have the 3 of Wands in position number 1. I do like that. It's a nice energy. I mean, it could be somebody in waiting mode, but that's also energy building up too. There's like, there's something underneath the surface there. Okay, we do have the 6 of Cups in position number 2. So there's a link to the past or history. Could be even karmic. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here for you. Thank you. Okay, all right, Sword of Truth, very conversational. So, I mean, I do like this, but there is a lot of like mental energy still, like really mulling something over, brewing it over. So that energy does show up here. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I'm kind of liking how this energy feels so far. Like there's nothing really jumping out to me that's super wild as of yet. But we have an interesting mixture of elements. We have a little bit of fire. We have a little bit of water. We have some air. So this could be different areas of life. I mean, it could be different aspects of the same thing. All of these energies present themselves in a different way. Because fire, it's like action or the wanted action. the cups, that's emotions and feelings. Ace of Swords, logic, truth, plan-based type of energy. So it's like they're very distinctly different the way they're presenting themselves. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays off each other. But let's start here. Position number one. Let's build this out piece by piece. We're starting with the Three of Wands. And we see our pal here. Looks like he's standing on the shoreline and he's looking out into the distance. And there's a ship that's coming in. This is a huge card of manifesting. So it kind of fits the theme that we saw last week about attracting things, pulling things in. So for a lot of Virgos, that might be the best way to move at this time. It's like, all right, attract, don't chase. Pull things towards you. Don't force things when this card is here. And it could also be Spirit telling you like, hey, now's the time to start visualizing and manifesting things into your life. Now, just like all cards, this does have some challenges that we'll get to in a moment. But the Three of Wands can also represent distance. It can also represent travel. So whether you're on the go, on the move, or somebody else. But the challenge of this card, it could be a delay. Some of you might be in a waiting pattern or holding pattern, like, all right, well, let's wait and see how this goes. But sometimes it can feel like this is taking forever. So hopefully there's nothing you're going through right now where you're getting a little impatient or you feel like it's taking forever in a day. So we'll just see what's up with this. But usually I say with the Three of Wands, even though this person is waiting on the shoreline, it's like there's an energy building up. Remember, this is fire, and fire is action. So it's like, all right, well, it might not seem like a lot's going on the surface, but the energy is building. Moving to the center, we have the Six of Cups. And you see these two children there. They're sharing a cup with each other. I usually say this is a pretty positive energy. It could represent soulmates, people that we're very close to. It doesn't always have to be romantic. It could be really good friends. It could be people that we care about. It's a really good bond. So this card can most definitely represent a very important individual. But aside from that, this is a card of the past, history. So it's interesting that in the front end, we had looking towards the future. This energy is looking behind it. And kind of the same here. This one's looking towards the horizon, the future. This one's looking behind it. So some of you might be in that place where it's like, all right, I'm looking too far ahead. No, I'm looking too far back. It's like an interesting play of energy that we have going on here. Now, the Six of Cups, aside from memories, I mean, you might be a little more sentimental than you normally are. You might be taking trips down memory lane when this card is here. It's very emotional when we see it. It could represent people returning. I always say when the Six of Cups is here, it could represent things returning, things popping back up. So whether it's people or situations, similar to like what we saw last week. Now, the challenge of the Six of Cups could represent somebody that's living in the past, or someone that stays there a little too long, or they could represent tough memories, tough things from the past that somebody hasn't fully healed from. And no judgment here. I'm just telling you how the energy is presenting. Now, on to the back end, this is totally different than both of these. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords. Now, I always say with all aces, all of them, they represent offers, they represent opportunities. So for a lot of you, this is new. So it's like we're looking forward, we're looking back, and then new energy is coming in, which is really, really fantastic. Now, the Ace of Swords is a definitely a different complexion than the other aces. It's called the Sword of Truth for a reason. They do connect to communication or talking, so we could see some sort of talk of importance when this card is here. But again, it's straightforward, it's to the point, no BS, cut to the chase. So for a lot of Virgos, you might be a little extra blunt in this time. Now, a challenge with this card, sometimes it could be a little mean, sometimes it could be a little serious. It could also speak about a need to plan something out. So whether it's you planning or somebody else, there could be some strategy involved when this card is here, especially with the Three of Wands in the front. It could represent cutting things out. So you see there's a lot of layers to all of these cards. They all have a lot of things going on here. So we're just going to have to see. So, you know what, Virgo? I want to dive deeper. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here, please, from Guides and Spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Three of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Three of Wands time, please. And while I get this card out, I just want to mention all of these cards do share something in common. Like they are all cerebral, even though they're different suits. Like this is the logic, this is like the emotional intelligence, and this one, it's like looking towards the future. So there's definitely the vibe of somebody mulling something over. We've been feeling that since the very beginning. But let's go in on that three. Why is the Three of Wands here for Virgo? Why is it here? Thank you. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords, and to me, this is somebody who's like on the lookout. It's on guard. It's giving me Nine of Wands vibes here for whatever reason. So I'm getting the energy of somebody being a little bit tense. Now, the Five of Swords isn't all bad, right? If you watch tarot, you know all cards have the positive and challenge. The Five of Swords, yes, it could be confrontational. Yes, it could be quite mean, especially with the Ace of Swords back here. So there is something here about this bluntness. Now, I will say with the fire-air combination up here, there can be a bit of an explosive talk happening where someone's pouring it on a little too thick, and it feels one-sided to me. So if this is some sort of conversation, it's like somebody's pouring it on too thick or somebody's pouring it on really thick. So just keep that in mind as you move throughout the current or the next couple weeks, because I'm getting a vibe of someone just doing too much, getting a little too aggressive. But like I mentioned earlier when the card first popped out, I feel like this Three of Wands is on guard for any issues or problems. So just know, I mean, it's not a bad thing to be prepared. I will say that. I mean, you should be prepared and you should watch out for yourself. But when the Three of Wands and the Five of Swords is here, it's like I'm predicting a problem, I'm predicting an issue, and I'm on guard and watching out for it. That's just how it's presenting itself to me. Either that or that explosive talk that feels a little one-sided. Okay, so watch out for aggressive people in this time. So we're just going to put it down. I mean, wasn't expecting that Five of Swords, and it could also be self-sufficiency and stuff like that, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going intuitive here. So let's keep moving. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. See what's up with that. Maybe there could also be someone that might think you're a little upset at them. That could be possible, only for a few of you. But let's see why the Six of Cups is here. Why is it in the mix, please? Thank you. Yep, karmic energy in reverse underneath. Okay, so for a lot of Virgos, when I see the Seven of Pentacles, that is a card of reaping what you sow, of course. This could represent somebody not wanting to make the same mistakes that they've already made in the past. And so that's like the initial first vibe I'm getting here with the Six of Cups, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, no, I'm not going to repeat that again, or I don't want to repeat that again in one way or another. And again, I'm not saying it's all just relationships or anything like that. It's like someone who's like, they don't want to repeat the same behaviors. Now, aside from that, when I see a karmic card of reaping what you sow, flipped in reverse underneath a card of the past, either that's a karmic cycle returning or running itself back, or it's someone or something revisiting, right? So there is something returning in a big way. And I saw this for Capricorn. I've been seeing this sprinkled in for other signs in recent weeks, and it looks like it might be Virgo's turn. So just know there might be situations popping back up where you've dealt with something similar, or it could just be people that you haven't heard from in a while. Like, I'm getting all this stuff. So let's keep moving. We're going to move in on the Ace of Swords. So, I mean, pretty self-explanatory to me. But let's keep going. And it could be part of that guarded type of energy. So even if you're a cross watcher, like what I'm seeing here with this Nine of Wands guarded energy, then this energy where it's like, no, I don't want to slip up again. There's an energy of caution I'm picking up. So I'm not sure if it's spirit telling you to walk cautiously, or if the person you're dealing with is, they got a little bit of a wall up. Let's go in on that Ace of Swords. Let's see what's up with that Ace of Swords. And we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. So this energy is most definitely presenting itself in a different way than last week. That's for sure. So why is it here? Ace of Swords. Okay. Yeah, and this energy is coming at you. This energy is coming at you. I'm not sure who it is or exactly what it is, but the Four of Swords in reverse underneath the Ace of Swords, like usually this is a card that's at rest. Same with this, and it's like the energy is flipping in one way or another. Now, the Ace of Swords with the Four of Swords in reverse, this could be spirit telling you, like, listen, Virgo, say it how it is, speak your mind, speak your piece. So it's very important for a lot of you to have a very clear, concise communication style this week. I know we already spoke about a possible conversation here on the front end. It's coming up here in the back. So it's like, all right, well, don't feel like you have to hold back. Speak your piece, speak your mind. You don't have to be mean about it, but be logical, be truthful. So we do have like the talk of importance. It's like we have all this different communication going on aside from this stuff we have here in the middle. So again, for some of you, this could just be similar situations where a spirit could be telling you, okay, Virgo, you've kind of been through similar things before. It's like you kind of know what you need to do to handle this or how to handle this. Now, the Four of Swords is also a card of rest. If it was in the upright, I'd be like, yeah, this is cool. This is chill. This is mellow. The fact that it's in reverse, it's like, no, this energy is, it's pretty active and it's flipping here. in a powerful way. So there's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of chit chat going on, which makes sense from what I saw from you last week with all the different energies at play. But I feel like you should not edit yourself in the coming days and weeks. Either that or it's a talk of importance um, that needs to be had. Okay, that's a big vibe. And for a small portion of you, small portion, Ace of Swords, Four of Swords in reverse could be a big opportunity or offer coming into. So especially if you're dealing with like career things or money things, that's really good. I feel like that's good. It's like, all right, we're planning for it. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. I don't want to muddy up the message too much because there is a lot of stuff coming through for you this week. I feel like there's actually more here to uncover. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we're starting off with the 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords in the upright. This does feel like someone that could be a little too aggressive or they're doing the most. The first initial thing I picked up here was someone being very guarded. So for a lot of Virgos in this time, maybe you're predicting issues or problems that could crop up where it's like, I'm going to keep my eye on this. Like, I feel like the shoe's going to drop. So it's like paying attention and waiting for this 5 of Swords to come in. Aside from that guarded energy, I also felt like this could be an explosive talk, but it did feel one-sided where someone was just being too aggressive or pouring it on a little too much. So do with that what you will. Moving to the center, we have the 6 of Cups with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I did get the vibe of someone still being cautious, not wanting to repeat certain behaviors from the past or make mistakes from the past, where it's like, you know what, I'm going to approach this in a different way. But another vibe I'm getting here is things returning or things being revisited, whether it's a karmic cycle or whether it's a person. It's like this energy's looping back around. Moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Swords with the 4 of Swords in the upright. Very important that your communication style when dealing with anything in this time is straightforward, blunt, to the point, concise, very clear. So be clear with your words and your intentions. For some of you, this could be a good offer coming in. But with these cards that are usually chill, flipping up, it's like, all right, the energy's moving here. The energy's starting to move. So do with that information what you will, Virgo. Please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Virgo friends. What is in the shadows? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end. That's to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. Put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. And I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. Let's see, what do we got in the shadows for Virgo? Thank you. And yeah, I'm not surprised. Another card that does connect with communication, especially the fiery one that we were picking up in the beginning. We have the 8 of Wands, one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire tarot deck. In the classical form, it's the 8 wands cutting through the sky. They look like arrows, and that is one of the biggest cards of communicating. So it kind of supports all the stuff we were seeing on the extreme ends of the main part of the spread. Now, the good thing about this could be a little heads up from Spirit saying like, hey, Virgo, buckle up. It's coming in. Be ready for it. But also, fire energy could be very unpredictable. I mean, it could be sporadic. It could be a little bit spotty. In its worst case, it could represent someone or something that is a little too aggressive, like we saw here on the front end. So if you are, tiptoeing with someone or tiptoeing around someone, I feel like that might be necessary for the short term when this card is here. Either that or someone might get a reaction out of you when this 8 of Wands is here, like a reaction that's not normally like you. So we're going to leave it at that. Virgo, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.